So, hi guys, Tim and Toby here, back for episode 4 of how Germany was winning the war. And now, this episode we'll be talking about the German invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941, also known as Operation Barbarossa, or more specifically the 22nd of June. Well, it started the big offensive on the 22nd of June 1941. So if we go right back way before 1941 to 1939, August 1939, Germany and Stalin has signed this non-aggression pact. But when we get to June 1941, Hitler had literally torn it up and just basically blitzkrieged over Russia, and just basically gone behind Stalin's back, which Stalin was quite annoyed with, to say the least. Which was actually, as they invaded in June, Germany wasn't actually they were very unprepared for what the actual Russian winter was going to be like in December a year later, at the December 1942 at the Battle of Stalingrad. That's when kind of the coin flipped on the German offensive in Europe. And that's what, kind of the downfall of Germany. So, Toby, do you want to continue the story?
Yes, so Hitler had always had a great hatred of Russia for some reason. He considered them subhuman, and he was determined from the outset that this would be a race war. Either one nation annihilates the other completely, or the other nation will annihilate the other nation back. So this is one of the reasons why he decided to backstab the Soviet Union, and basically one of the reasons why he actively encouraged his generals and units to actually commit war crimes against both Soviet prisoners of war and just the general Russian population. So originally the Ukrainians, who had been taken over by the expansionist policies of the Soviet Union, welcomed the Germans, just like the Yugoslavs had before. They, passed bread to the Germans, gave them flowers, but soon that turned very, very sour, because the Germans began executing reprisals against anyone just for any small resistance activity. This then deprived them of a potential manpower source, which would honestly come back to haunt them later on in the war. So I will pass you back to Tim.
Right, thanks, Toby. Now, it was a very big gamble, really, of Germany invading, a massive powerhouse like the Soviet Union, or, facing off against the Red Army, because Russia was actually, in terms of military manpower and everything military, they were bigger than Germany. Economics, manpower, military, everything. They were bigger than Hitler's own German army. So it's quite a big task for. Basically, it was kind of like a bull in a china shop. The China's Germany, so they knew this big bull, or Russia, is going to come down on them sometime. Which, of course, a year and 6 months later, on December 1942, that's when it really kicked in, or mainly the cold kicked in, because you had roughly, the Battle of Stalingrad, this was in December 1942, which at the kind of aftermath that you had roughly between 70 to 90,000 Germans died just from the cold alone, and you're looking at something like over 100,000 Germans died specifically at the the whole of the Russian campaign through the 2 years, which was a massive letdown and kind of loss for Germany, because, as I say, it's a bull in a china shop, really. So now, as I said, the German army invaded in June 1941. June was quite a really nice, hot, warm time, really, in Russia. So they invaded in as you can kind of class them as summer clothing. So not very baggy and everything. But of course, by December kicks in, and then December in 1942, Germany didn't have any really proper, what you can class kind of foul, cold weather, warm uniforms. So they had to try and, get bandages, wrap them around their shoes, everything. They were very good for camouflage because of the snow and the winter, but it didn't do anything of the cold. So there's even a lot of accounts of German soldiers actually wearing their gas masks just to, because of the inhaling and exhaling of breath would warm the whole kind of the face up. But the thing is with that, the cold kicks in it, the gas mask would stick to their face, so it's a bit terrible in that. So yeah, the medal actually I've got here is, as I say, this is to do with Operation Barbarossa, so why not have a Ostfront or Eastern Front medal. So this is as I said, the German Eastern Front medal given to all German members who actually took part in the Eastern Front. Yeah, so it's got the basic date of 1941-42 on the back, and then of course the German eagle and Hakenkreuz or swastika to you guys. But yeah, so Toby, do you want to say anything before the video ends?
I guess one last thing, which is, for some reasons, some people have decided that the Soviet Union was going to invade Germany first, and the German strike was preemptive in some way, which is just completely false in every way. So the Soviet Union was just coming out of the famous purge of all of their officers, and had taken an absolute drubbing from the Finns, so they were really in no fit state whatsoever to attack the Germans, and equally, if they had been ready to attack, then the Germans probably wouldn't have broken through, because the troop concentrations would have been much, much, much higher. So, yeah, that's just kind of debunking a very strange little theory there. Yeah, I'll hand you back over to Tim.
Right. Thanks, Toby. So, just before I actually end, another reason why, because of the cold and everything, but another reason why for the Germans' basically defeat in Russia is because the weather was pretty bad. So a lot of basically air support couldn't really get in, supplies couldn't get in. That means a lot of ammunition basically not getting to the front, and if they did, nobody really bothered to taking notice because Germany was losing, and half the time the actual supplies weren't actually supplies, they were just morale boosting, giving the Germans iron crosses and chocolate in the supply drops, which is good for the Germans if you like chocolate and medals, but not if they want to win a big battle. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode, episode 5, which will be Crete, actually. So the German invasion of Crete. So thanks for watching, guys, have a good one, and see you in the next video. Bye.